Yes,
But yo,
sir.
man, you know what it is, man. What is episode 14?
14. 14.
Episode 14, man. You know what it is, man. Your boy C.O. McLean.
It's your boy Melly Mel. You
You know what it
live,
is,
man.
man. Live. So, man, let's get right into it, man. It's been a
All right.
busy time
Yeah.
in
Busy.
sports.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
NBA finals went down. We got no hitters. We got faces of WNBA. We got a lot to
Yeah.
talk
A
about, right,
lot, a lot
SB?
to talk about. A lot. I mean,
You know?
since we got, let's start it off with the Cage Woods throwing
Okay.
the no hitter in the College World Series.
Yeah, man. Shout
You
out
know,
to
you
Gage
you
Woods.
informed me of that. So yeah, you dive into that.
Yeah, I got to keep tabs. You know, I just don't want us to talk about basketball all the time. We got to talk about
Yeah.
other sports, man. Shout out
Uh-huh.
to my man Gage Woods. He did a no hitter at the College World Series yesterday for Arkansas. This was the first no hitter since 1960s in the College World Series, and he actually had to get that no hitter because they was facing elimination. So he pulled the rabbit out the hat and pulled out a no hitter. 19 strikeouts the boy had. 19.
Mm.
You know, they had him on I forgot the guy name that's after First Take. The Mac Packovey show. He was on there.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay.
you know, he was talking about his nutrition and stuff. Like he's really like on his nutrition. He's like he said he don't eat no sugars at all. He drink a lot of smoothies, he eat a lot of steak. You know, he just
For
stay
the
away
pro
from a lot
oh,
of the
okay, the protein. All right.
high carb type meals to stay away from. He mad buff though. You know, he's projected to be I think the first pick in the MLB draft. You know, dude is nice. I watched a couple of highlights. I'm like, all right, this guy,
All right. All
the
right.
white boy nice. Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Not easy, throwing a no
Yeah.
hitter, man.
Bird said he set a college World Series record with that 19 strikeouts. You know what I mean?
Nah, that's dope.
Yeah, man. So shout out to Mr. Gage Woods, man. Hopefully go to the Yankees. You know, we need him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nah,
We need
the
you, Yank.
Mets.
We need pitching.
Nah, the Mets.
Yes.
I'll let you. The Mets. The
Sounds
Mets.
like an amazing parlay. That's fact. Sounds like an amazing parlay. Who was that trying to join
That
in? Oh, never mind. What's up, Moomy? My daughter on. What's up,
Lay,
Malaya?
what
How
up?
you
What up?
doing? Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to my man
So
Gage.
another interesting. Let's dive into the whole Kyrie and Jamal Tinsley with the handle. Tracy McGrady, of my era, you one of the best. You respect you and salute you. But I know sometimes when you retire, we start doing dumb stuff. We don't have nothing to do a lot of time. So he must be smoking something. I don't know what T-Mac's doing with the spare time,
Uh-huh.
but Jamal Tinsley, better handle than Kyrie, is
Mm-hmm.
blasphemous. It's
Mm-hmm.
blasphemous. That's blasphemous.
I'm
All
gonna
right?
put some tad respect on Tinsley's name
No,
because
see, look, I don't want to be disrespect. It's no disrespect to Tinsley. Okay? He
mm-hmm.
didn't even say nothing. But
Right.
it's no disrespect to Tinsley at all. Like, because he's being compared to Kyrie Irving is it's not a regular human being with this handle. So
Yeah.
talking that way, as far as Kyrie, it's no disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
But Jamal Tinsley, I mean nobody for that matter, is in
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie's class to me.
Nah.
But Tinsley has a dope handle, like he could pass, he was nice with it.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, not messing with Kyrie is just no. Some
Mm-hmm.
things, and if T-Mac was here now, I would have threw the wool beat off him. Because that was crazy.
You
That was
breaking up
crazy.
a little bit with your audio, bro.
My fault, my fault. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. That was crazy. Like you don't
Mm-hmm.
do that. Like that. T-Mac, you know better than that. You know, like this dude Kyrie Irving coming up the court, sham guard, full speed into jump shot. Not, oh, let me throw it in. It's nah, we're not doing that. We're not
Hey,
doing that.
speaking of the shame guard, Westbrook did one fast break too one time in game. We ain't gonna
He
shout out
did,
to
but he did.
Westbrook.
But he don't look like, well, because everybody with the pause, his joint they ain't as smooth as Kyrie.
Yeah.
Like Kyrie, come on.
So what I
And I
do,
love Tinsley.
you know how cause we ball, so we came across a lot of ball
Yeah,
handlers.
Shout out to
right?
Tinsley
So
too, Brooklyn.
yeah, shout out to Tinsley, of course. But when you got somebody that guy handles like that, there are two type of ball handlers. You got some ball handlers that's erratic with it. They still got it, but they erratic. Let's put an instance. Let's go back to our days. We comparing like Zeke to Ant, right? So Zeke handle was a little bit more polished. Ant, he had his shit, but Ant was more like Tinsley to me, right? And I mean, some of the guys, they're not going to know these guys, but these are guys that me and my brother know playing
Yeah,
schoolyard ball. Remember Ant from Mad Ups?
that's a little bit before me. You told me about him.
Okay.
Zeke, you know that's the brother. So you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Shout out to
you know,
Zeke. But
yeah.
like cause Zeke had more of a okay, matter of fact, let's put them together. Let's put Zeke and Mook, right? Let's compare their handles.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
Mook had a more polished handle than Zeke had. Zeke was a little bit more, sometimes was erratic, but Mook was more polished. So that's what I compare Tinsley and Kyrie to. Like, if you look at Tinsley highlights, a lot of his moves was kind of like he'll do a move and he got to kind of chase the ball to get the move back. Whereas Kyrie, he'll do it and is mad smooth in motion with it. You know, so I can see where T-Mac can make that comparison, but there's really no comparison to Kyrie. Kyrie handles his ball handling. It's just like it's
He's
like
a
he sleeps with the
magician.
yeah, he's a magician. It's like he sleeps with the ball and wake up handling and moving around and like is you can't
Yo,
compare nobody to Kyrie.
and
Um,
you made a good point, but see the thing about Kyrie Handle is that he's polished. He got the street. Like there's just it's nothing that like it's like he's like Chris Brown with the dancing,
yeah,
with the handle. It's like nothing that he can't do. It's it's just a different level.
man, he
Like
did this move. Hold on, let me. Hold on. We gonna show the move.
all right,
We gonna Kyrie. This we live in action right now, so we gonna show this move that Kyrie had did. Right. So
hold on. You about to do the move?
yeah, I'm gonna do the move. So just listen. He had the ball right. So he did the. This is the Kyrie move that's crazy. I mean, I'm not Kyrie. My handles.
We know that. We know that.
But you know the move when he go. How you did it? He go. Boom. You drew the ball and go. Like, and it was, he did and then like that move, he go and grab it with this hand. It's like he think he's gonna go with this hand, like they gonna
Yeah.
slip with this hand, but he go and grab it. I can't get it, but shot in the jerk.
Yeah. You want to give a round of applause for for the fact. A round of applause.
You
Stay
know,
retired. Stay
you know.
retired.
I mean, that's not official size basketball, you know what I'm saying? But you know, my handles was a little something when I used to play, you know what I mean? But yeah, like Kyrie, man, his movements is way more fluent than Tinsley. You
He's
know,
just better. He's a better ball handler.
he's a
Like
better ball handler,
he's a better ball handler. I mean,
way better
and
ball handler.
it's like, and the thing about it's no disrespect to nobody.
No,
But
absolutely.
if Kyrie's the top and everybody else, it's a substantial gap between
Mm-hmm.
him and the rest of the pack. That's all
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying.
But
It's a substantial gap.
what I will shout out T Mac for is bringing up Tinsley. You know, because
Yeah, showing love.
a lot of these newer cats don't know about the previous ball handlers that came before Kyrie. You know, the Tinsley, the Tinsleys of the world, the Ross Stricklands of the world, the Kenny Andersons of the world, the Jason Williams of the world. You know, even KJ. You know, I mean, he wasn't a ball,
Stevie
but
Franchise and
Steve
B Diddy. There's a
franchise
lot
as
of
well.
people.
You know, Rayful Austins of the world. You know, that came
Yeah,
from
it's
the
a lot of.
N1
But
series.
see, but Kyrie shows love to all though. He don't.
Right.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
he says that like he was like he's a combination of all of them.
Of all of them.
So that's
Yeah.
why he's like, yo, hey, he is the best, but he's a combination of all. He wouldn't be here without him. So
Right.
Kyrie shows love and
Mm-hmm.
gratitude. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, it's no disrespect to
nah,
Kyrie
no disrespect at
Jamal,
all. No
but
disrespect at all. Shout out to
Kyrie,
Jamal Tinsley, Tilden, Brooklyn, you
Brooklyn, what
know,
up? You
yeah,
already.
all that. Yeah,
Brooklyn,
for
what up?
sure. For sure. And on another note, I mean, a lot of other funny things.
Mm-hmm.
let's just jump into the whole Giannis underachiever. That
Mm-hmm.
was interesting. And shout out to Jason Williams, Jay Williams,
Shout out to Jay Williams.
the former Duke standout. He
Yes.
definitely tuned into the post, when
Mm-hmm.
they was getting at him. But um, I just
And
think that you go ahead.
no, go ahead, bro. I got you.
Now I was just saying, I think that it's definitely was like the way they just jumping on Jay Will. It depends on how you look at it and your approach and how you really looking at it. But
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I think that people think that because you're a great player and like maybe we spoiled from the Michael Jordans and the Kobe Bryants and Bill Russells and Shaqs and people even less on a lower level but still having the rings like a Robert Horry. Or I think people think that winning championships because you're a great player or something just comes automatic. Like
Mm-hmm.
the thing about it is that Giannis injuries to him, teammates, situations, the ring he got has the weight of multiple, in
Mm-hmm.
my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And how they did that, he came back from a bad injury that looked crazy that I thought he was done for the playoffs. He
Mm-hmm.
came back, he showed up in the finals. I think that you know, underachiever and Giannis, I don't see how that could ever be in the same sentence,
Mm-hmm.
personally. He stayed in Milwaukee. They won a chip. He's a multiple MVP. Did he win a Defensive Player of the Year? I believe he did.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple All Stars, scoring. I mean, Milwaukee on his back. I mean, if anything, the championship that they did win,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think they was favored over Phoenix. So I think that him being an underachiever is just, to me, that I don't see how that could ever be possible in any shape form. Of course,
Now,
with his talent, you go
mhm.
ahead.
Now the
Go ahead.
reason, like again, like shout out to Jay Will, I was watching First Take and I mean they was killing them, but they was like philosophically he had it right, but just on the basketball terms, they said he had it wrong. So he was asking me which side. I was like, I see both sides of it, right? For
So
the
yeah, explain that. Explain that.
for the underachieving side aspect of it all, because this is something that Giannis had said himself, that came out of his mouth himself. He felt
Okay.
like, yo, I need more than one championship in order to be, up there with the greats. For somebody, because obviously it's real hard to win a championship, right? Like Jay
Yes.
Will was saying, like everything got to go right. You got to have good health, ball got to
Mm-hmm.
bounce your way. Like everything got to be right as a team for you to win the NBA championship. So by saying that is like, when you have a lot of these great players, say like Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley, Sean Kemps, these guys that haven't won any. You look at them. Some people were like, "Well, they didn't. They great all time great Hall of Famers, but they didn't get a ring, right?
Yeah.
They didn't get a ring." And then you look
Yeah.
at guys like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, who got multiple rings. So their conversations is different because they great players and they got multitude of rings. So for Giannis to have one, yeah, you like, yo, Giannis have one, but then he's feeling like, and people saying like, yo, for you to be that great of a player to have one ring, damn, you could have got at least two, right? So that's the conversations that people are having now. As far as not underachieving, he won MVP, two-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, won a championship with Milwaukee, and Milwaukee hasn't won a championship, I think, since when Oscar Robertson was playing with him.
And Kareem, yeah.
And Kareem,
Since
like
then,
that's in the
yeah.
60s, right? So for you to come and
70s.
win 70s, excuse me. So for you to win a championship in that long of a period of time and bring it back to a Milwaukee Bucks, which is not a big market team, that says a lot for you as a player, and
Yeah.
what you did for that franchise. So in that aspect, I wouldn't say he underachieved because he came and he bought that franchise an NBA championship in a modern day NBA. But we're having these conversations because Giannis said it out of his mouth himself that, yeah, I feel like I underachieved if I don't win multiple championships. And that's why he's looking to say, hey, because he wants to stay in Milwaukee for what I'm seeing, but it's like in order for him to win another championship, is Milwaukee the best spot? Can they get him enough people to win it, or do he have to go someplace else and kind of like reshape his legacy, right, from going from Milwaukee to another team to seemingly chase a championship ring? So that's just something to hang over his head, because I don't think, because remember, he wasn't a fan of the super teams, right? He wasn't a fan of people going to teams and teaming up to win championships. So for him, he's really keen on, yo, I want to stay in Milwaukee, but I want another ring as well. So he is, is weighing heavy on Giannis as a decision on what he wants to do, in order to build on his legacy, right? So tough decision, man. Tough decision. So I mean, currently orchestrated, do you think the Bucks can contend? Because right now, with Tatum being out, we don't know the state of Cleveland. Knicks is still in the up and up with this team currently constructed. Do you think Giannis could contend for a chip with this current team?
No, Milwaukee's done. Damian Lillard has an Achilles injury. He's out. So they're done. This season is nothing. So,
Yep.
yeah, they're done.
I agree. So then now it comes to the point where, does Giannis stay on that team and go through a whole year, seemingly waste of whole year of not competing at all, not even competing to make the playoffs, right? So it's like he has a decision to make. So, but whatever decision he makes, shout out to Giannis, because Giannis is a stand-up guy. His values, he's not buddy with NBA players. He's like, listen, I'm gonna come out there to bust your ass, and either you can stop me or not. So, whatever decision you make, hopefully the fans, Milwaukee appreciates it, and, he gets what he deserves, what he's seeking.
All right, man. In other news, man, you see the Grizzlies traded Bane to the Orlando Magic. Yo, they gotta stop. I mean, all right. They said, that they was trying to offload Caldwell Pope contract. So that's why they gave up the draft picks.
Yeah.
Listen, man. They gotta stop giving these packages for these dudes who are not even all-stars. Like they Kobe Bryant or somebody, man. Like, come on, man. The packages that be given, it'd be insanity, man.
Yeah, 4 unprotected first-round picks. Unprotected.
Like, he's not even an all-star.
That's crazy. That's
like,
crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was the same thing for Bridges. It's like they gotta stop. And I don't know. I'm not gonna say they're killing the market, but Orlando just like y'all a building team yourselves. Yeah, I felt like y'all really have to give up all of that. Like, but it doesn't. And to me, it doesn't make Orlando like crazy better either to be giving up all of those assets. But I think it says more for the Grizzlies, though. They get the assets, but they done.
Yeah, I think right now, if you look at it, I mean, they still got what's his name? They still got
John Morant.
And they still got
Jackson.
Jaren Jackson. I'm looking at their roster right now. That's pretty much, they still got Scotty Jr. He's a right player. I mean, if you look at their roster, they're not really a competing roster, right? Because if you look at what John Morant had said when he came back from injury, he was like, "Yo, we gonna win a chip. We could contend for the chip." And they got bumped out the first round last year, and the year before that, it was dud. So that window for Grizzlies is closed, right? So it's like, are you as a Memphis Grizzly team? Are you in rebuilding mode, or are you still figuring you got a team that you could, or you got players that you could bring in with Jackson and Morant to fill out that roster and try to compete in the West? That's something to look at. And I mean, when you look at Bane, Bane was their like second leading scorer, or in some instances, they first leading scorer. When Morant was out, he was that guy. Right, and Orlando needed him because Orlando was like, "Yo, listen, the East, we could, if we get a couple of pieces, we could compete." Right, so they looking at that series with Boston. It was like, They saw something like, yo, if we just had one more scorer, we probably could have did something. So they went out and got Bane because they needed corner shooting. They needed more catch and shoot shooting, which they was like dead last, I believe, if the numbers is right, in the league as far as 3-point corner shooting and catch and shoot, which David Bane is in the high 40% in that category. So that's something
Yeah.
that they needed as a player, and that give Paolo another player that they can go and get a bucket if they need to.
Yeah.
So for Orlando, it was a much needed
Yeah.
trade. For Grizzlies, it's like scratching your head. So now you're gonna look at whether or not they need to offload Ja Morant. And on top of what they gave up for Bane, you got to look at, because Kevin Durant is on the market, right? So now they're like, okay, well, Bane is 30 times better than Kevin Durant, even though he's 37, but he's still top 5 in the league in scoring. He's still an efficient scorer to still KD. What you going to give up for KD, right? You done got to
Yeah.
trade. Miguel Bridges got, 5 first-rounders. Bane just got 4 unprotected first-rounders. What do you think you're going to give me for KD, right? So, to your point, when you was like these trade packages, these GMs, they look at that. They're like, well, Bane, well, this is KD. What you going to give me? I need 10 first-round picks. You want KD? What you going to give me for him?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's interesting, man. It's interesting how the NBA landscape and the trade landscape, how it all, will map out based off of these trades and what these GMs and owners gonna want for their star players, in these packages with these trades.
Yeah. And I think for the Grizzlies, yeah, giving up that much, and then, I mean, in that tough Western Conference, I think that their window is definitely closed.
Yeah, that window closed. And it's and Ja Morant, man, he's one of those guys where you look at, I compare him to like it's hard to compare, but like if I look at his trajectory, like Derrick Rose, so to speak, right, had a high trajectory. But granted, Derrick Rose got injured, so that halted his progress. But if you look at Ja Morant when he first came in the league, like he had that superstar aura. His
Yeah.
highlights was crazy. He got
Yeah.
his signature shoot early. Then he got into a couple of off-court troubles. Injuries really killed him. So it's like, yo, where is Ja Morant's trajectory? Where's his ceiling on this team? Do the
Yeah.
Grizzlies look at him and say, this is our guy? Or do the Grizzlies say, do like a Luka, like, well, I don't know if can we sustain this guy and him being on a team, being available, should we get rid of him now to get some assets for him? So, we got to see how that's going to look on June 25th for the NBA draft,
Yeah.
what may transpire.
The Grizzlies, yeah, they need to just settle,
Mm-hmm.
get trade and but we'll
Yeah,
see, right?
we'll see.
And before we jump into the NBA Finals talk,
Mm-hmm.
is Caitlin Clark the face of the WNBA? You kick that off.
Hey man, I thought you were gonna say this for last, but we could do it now. It's crazy, right? Because we did a post on our TikTok,
Yeah.
and we talked about. Well, I made a statement in reference to the young ladies coming on the court, coming through the tunnel. Yeah, they was, oh
Yeah,
well,
they got a lot of flack for that. They was
yeah.
hating on us,
It's cool though, because
protesting.
I stand on it, right? Because
Yeah,
if you look at Kayla Carr, she just came back from an injury. She dropped like 30 something. Like she's
against the
out there.
Liberty, gave us the first loss. I was mad at her.
They first lost, like, and she's out there doing it, and she's not fashionable at all. Granted, some people will say because she's white, but nah, there's some white girls that be having their wigs on, and their nails done, and they be out there balling. All I'm saying is like, yo, you know, come out there and ball, and don't get mad that Caitlin Carter's out there busting your ass. And don't get mad because we did a poll on there. Is Caitlin Clark the face of the NBA? We had AJ. Is it? I don't know if it's a Jai or AJ or a Jai. Is it a Jai Wilson? How you pronounce her
Oh,
name?
Aja Wilson,
AJ
Aja
Wilson.
Wilson.
And she's nice. Current. I think she's the reigning MVP of the league, right? Of the
She had
WNBA.
she had 3-time MVP.
Three-time MVP. So, you know, her accolades
With it just
obviously
got a signature shoe
just
this
got a
season, by the
signature
way.
shoe. So her accolades trumps Caitlin Clark because obviously she's been in the league longer than Caitlin
Yeah.
Clark. But right now, I would have to say, based off her rookie season and how the numbers were, Caitlin Clark is the face of it. I'm gonna look up some numbers while you give your take, but Caitlin Clark is currently the face of the WNBA.
I mean, yeah, I think that because, maybe I don't want to say it's because it's her skin color or the way she play, or I don't really want to,
Mm-hmm.
allude to those things, but I think that to me it feels like people don't want to accept the fact or give her like, yo, all right, yeah, she has helped get us opportunity and help boost this league. I think people don't want to put the credit on her shoulders because she's young or new and other people been around. But it's almost the same thing like when Magic and Bird, they came, they saved the NBA, but then Jordan comes along and it's like, yeah, y'all guys are dope. Y'all been holding it down, but I'm the guy.
Right,
I may not have the championships, but I'm helping to take this thing where it's never been.
right.
So I think that, people just gotta give her that proper credit because if we're being honest, she has helped boost the league. I mean, it goes without saying from attendance to viewership, and it's not a slight to say that I don't think she's the best player in the
Mm-hmm.
WNBA, but the face. I mean, I think it's kind of hard to kind of say otherwise because of all the traction that she has made. Because there's been some great players that's come through the WNBA
Mm-hmm.
from that's like whether currently from the Asia Wilsons to
Mm-hmm.
Suey, these people with signature shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Sabrina has her own shoe.
Yep.
Even Deldon, I think she might have retired, but she had a shoe. A lot of people have endorsements and shoe deals, but even in all of them playing together, and the league was still at a certain point. Like
Mm-hmm.
Diana Taurasi just left the game, and she's one
Mm-hmm.
of the all-time greats,
Mm-hmm.
one in college and everything. And it's like, it didn't take the league to a certain level, but it's no slight to them because I feel like the women just weren't getting their just due. So it's not them, none of their fault. But Caitlin Clark has come along with some traction behind her, and the
Mm-hmm.
girl can play basketball.
You can play
She's a
basketball.
great player. So it's not like,
Absolutely.
honestly, in the pros, it's like I'm seeing like, oh, I didn't realize how good of a passer she was and a
Mm-hmm.
playmaker. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, she don't just shoot threes. Like the girl
She
could
nice.
ball. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not like it's this person who, oh, she's a white girl and she just
Mm-hmm.
plays basketball. No, she's good.
Mm-hmm.
She's good, and
Mm-hmm.
she's competing with the best people in the game, and
Mm-hmm.
led Indiana to the playoffs. So I think that people just gotta humble up and just like, and it could be for whatever reason in your brain or something you could allude to, but the fact is the league has been better viewership wise and
Mm-hmm.
et cetera,
Mm-hmm.
because of her. Like
Now
even
let's
Nafis, no, go ahead.
now go ahead.
I was saying, even Nafisa Collier and a lot of other emerging people, all
Mm-hmm.
these people been in the league for a while, and the
Mm-hmm.
league has not gone to where it has now. So I just feel like we need to give Caitlin Clark her credit.
Now let's look at the viewership, right? So I'm looking at here. So
Yeah,
before the WNBA, before Caitlin arrived, the WNBA averaged around 300,000 to 400,000 viewers per game on national television, right? 300,000 to
that's low.
400,000 viewership, right?
That's real low.
The 2023 season, they said they saw an average of 367,000 viewers, right?
Hmm.
When Caitlin Clark came, her presence, viewership has increased with some games drawing over 1 million viewers, right? Caitlin Clark's WNBA draft for her drew 2.45 million viewers. That's that's
Yeah,
that's that's crazy. So that means these people and what she did in college and bringing them all to the WNBA scale, people are watching the WNBA because of Caitlin Clark, right?
Yeah.
And it just
Yeah.
so happens that Angel Reese was a part of that because her team beat Caitlin Clark
The year before.
the year before. I mean, and when they was in college for the national
Yeah.
championship. But if you look at their games, there's no comparison to their games, right? Caitlin Clark is by far the more superior basketball player than Angel Reese is. And a lot of people try to put, and I'm going to say a lot of people will try to put race into it, right?
Yeah.
Because she's a white girl, but just like they put race into Eminem as a rapper, they put race into Jason Williams out here busting ass white chocolate, right? Why they call him white chocolate? I mean, if you got a God given talent and you're nice, they using it. Caitlin
Yeah.
Clark was gifted by God with the talent to play basketball, regardless of what color she is. The girl is freaking nice. They were saying, right? They were saying how Steph Curry is the greatest shooter that God ever created, and it was on ESPN, and it was asking a WNBA analyst. They was like, how you compare her as far as shooting wise to Steph Curry, and it was like, well, you know that you said Steph Curry is the God, the greatest shooter God ever created. Caitlin Clark is probably the greatest shooter that God ever created for women. She pulls from the logo. She is bringing the swagger
Yeah.
that the WNBA needed because she's the first, right, of her kind. How she's coming down, like you said, she could pass the ball. She got that swag. She coming down, pulling from the logo, pulling from long distance. WNBA haven't seen that since Caitlin Clark, right? So people are intrigued and they want to watch that, and they are watching it based off of her. Even when she was out in the game against the Chicago Sky, right? The tickets was sky high. As soon as they announced she wasn't there, tickets went down to $20, bro. Like you
Yeah.
went from $100, $20 for tickets to $20. That right there shows you
Yeah. Yeah.
she's by far the face of the WNBA. I don't, people can debate. They can say Aja Wilson is. Some people say Angel Reese is. No, because nobody is selling out arenas like Caitlin Clark. People are watching the WNBA. It was a guy I went to a barbecue the other day. OG. He and there. I'm like, it's on a Saturday. No games on. What you watching? He's like, I'm watching Indiana Fever. I'm like, who you watching it for? Caitlin Clark. He's like, he said he didn't watch WNBA prior until she came in the league. He said he loved watching her play. And like that was the game she came back and she was killing. So that goes to show you, bro. Like
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark is the face of the WNBA. By far.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah.
No debate.
Give her flowers, man. And it benefits all the women. So
It benefits all the
they
women.
shouldn't hate. You just
Right.
bust her ass when y'all play. But
Right. They're going to be
hey,
happy when them checks roll in when they get them TV and endorsements. They're like, oh, the numbers
yeah,
spiked up. We could give y'all a couple of 300 mil, 3 mil for that. So thank Caitlin Clark. You know what I mean? Like, come on now.
yeah,
Let's stop hating on these people, man.
yeah, man.
Regardless of
Stop
the skin
hating,
color,
man.
just check the game.
Yeah,
Check.
stop hating. Shout out to Caitlin
Shout out
Clark,
to
man.
Caitlin Clark, man.
All right.
Keep doing your thing. Keep busting their ass. Fuck it.
And now we get into the NBA Finals, man. Yo,
Uh-huh.
man. Game 5. I mean, well, I want to say we gonna start it. If the Pacers win, the chip is an upset. The answer to me is yes, because OKC has been the best team all season with the
Mm-hmm.
best defense.
Mm-hmm.
So Pacers winning, no matter how good Indiana is and they competing, it would be an upset. And I
Mm-hmm.
alluded to the same thing like I told you earlier. Like if Seattle would have beat Chicago in '96, even though
Mm-hmm.
Seattle was great 60-win team, if you beat the 72-10 Bulls, that's an upset.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? It's not to say you're not a good team or whatever, but certain situations it's like, yeah, that's an upset. You
Mm-hmm.
know? It's the same thing. If Utah would have beat Chicago the next year when they were 69-13 in '97, that would have been an
Mm-hmm.
upset.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't have been an upset in '98 because Utah had the better record and Chicago
Mm-hmm.
kind of struggled that year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like Cleveland beating the Golden State Warriors team was an upset. No
Mm-hmm.
matter if it was LeBron and Kyrie. So because of what OKC did in the regular season, and the expectations and the level they played to with the best defense, best record, MVP of the league, yes, if Indiana beats them, that would be an upset for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Bar none to me.
And I think right up until the what were we at? They had game
Game
five.
five just
Game
happened.
five.
So yeah.
So up until prior to game five, I say when the series was 2-2, right?
Okay.
If you look at their stats, team wise, comparing them,
Yeah.
Indiana was not that far off as far as team wise, because we know NBA is about matchups, right?
Yeah.
So we looked at Thunder coming into this series. A lot of people looked at it as Thunder is a superior team, the best defensive team. They got the MVP. They got two 7-footers in the lineup. Like they pose matchup problems for a lot of teams. So a lot of people felt like OKC was either going to sweep them or gentlemen sweep them. A lot of people only gave Indiana one game. I said I give Indiana definite one, maybe two. They got their 2 games. But when it was 2-2, a lot of people was like, whoa, is Thunder, are they the better team? Or, is Pacers, stats wise, they kind of equal with them. So I think up until that point, it wouldn't be considered an upset because it was like their stats up in those 4 games played. Indiana was like, they was there with them.
Yeah.
So let's look at the stats right now, right? So obviously it's 3-2 points per game. Oklahoma City averaging 114 points per game. Indiana averaging 109. Rebounds is pretty much even. 42. They at 40. Oklahoma is at 42.4. Indiana Pacers at 42. That's in as far as the series concerned.
Yeah.
Assists, Indiana's at 23.8. Oklahoma's at 17.8. That's no to Halliburton. Steals, obviously Oklahoma's at 11.4. Indiana's at 8.6. Blocks pretty much even, 5.8 for Oklahoma, 6.2 for Indiana. Turnovers now. This is big because last night's game, the points over turnovers in the last 2 games, it was crazy. Like I think last game, going into maybe the fourth or third, they had like 32 points. Oklahoma did off of turnovers. Like you cannot give up 32 points off of turnovers. So that's what's really killing Indiana, honestly, in this series. I think that if Indiana control the turnovers, it will probably be flipped, honestly, in my unbiased opinion. Because while I'm looking at their games, although Halliburton playing like a holla bum, they're the way they playing and the way they press full court on SGA, giving him fits when Nimrod just giving him fits, and they
Yeah.
kind of figured it out last game. Like, okay, we're gonna run him on the nail and stuff like that. I just think that up to last night's game, it was a toss up at one. It was a toss up. Like, is Oklahoma City better or is Indiana Pacers as equally good? But I just think now, how Oklahoma City won game 5 in the fashion that they did it in. I don't see Indiana winning the next game, even in Indiana, especially with Halliburton hurt. I don't see them winning. So up until that point, I would have considered them again
Yeah.
equal or almost equal, or not being upset. But now, yeah, I mean, I think Oklahoma City is just, like I said in preview, they just too much. They just too much of a team.
Yeah.
Too
Yeah.
much of a team.
Yeah. Game five was crazy. Shout out to, you know, J Dub stepping up, 40 piece,
40
SGA
piece.
holding it down. They definitely
Mm-hmm.
showed out.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, they did good, man. That was a good game. There was a little minor mistakes like we talked about earlier with Carlisle, but to this point though, it's
Mm-hmm.
like I think people jumping on it because it didn't work out. But
Mm-hmm.
if I'm Carlisle, like playing Halliburton, that's what got you to this point. Got
Right.
you stealing game one. He was playing bad. Fourth quarter, he came on. So I don't fault him for that because it could have been the same situation if he didn't play him and they would
Mm-hmm.
have lost. I'm like, okay, McConnell was playing well, but damn, he should have put Halliburton back in because that's the guy who made all these clutch baskets. So that narrative could have came out. So
Mm-hmm.
me, Carlisle's a great coach, and I don't fault him for the move he made because that's one of the main reasons why they are even in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Games was won with Halliburton, and you can't go against that. You know?
I just think like for if you look at a player, say like and I'm gonna reference two things. So if you take a player, say like let's say Anthony Edwards, right? Or no, if I let's say like Julius Randle, right? So Julius Randle is a scoring forward, right? So you take him out if he's feeling any ailments, you like, yo, you're gonna miss out on that scoring, right? Because who's gonna come in and give us that scoring output or that rebounding output if it was a Halliburton situation, right? So when you look at Halliburton, you don't look at Halliburton as a scorer. I mean, he only had
Yeah.
what 1 30-point game, or maybe I think he had a 30-point game in the OK series. No, right? No, he didn't have
I
no
don't
30
think
point.
so. Not not
Oh yeah,
not not in this series.
not in this series. In
I
the
don't I
Knicks
don't I
series, he
don't
had
think
it.
so.
Yeah, he had that 1 30-point game in the Knicks series, but that's a Knicks. Knicks ain't a defensive team, right? So you
Yeah.
look at Halliburton, he's not a scorer. So for Carlisle, right, you're looking at it, you're like, okay, I got McCullough, what's his name? The guy that was McCullough. What's his name? The white
McConnell.
boy, McConnell. So you got McConnell in there. He's being aggressive. He's scoring, right? So if you're looking at, if I'm a coach, I'm Rick Carlisle, I'm like, well, Halliburton, yeah, he's my orchestrator, but we need points to keep up with OKC. Aside from, because they're a great defensive team, we got to need to offset, because a lot of times they say the best defense is a good offense, right? So it's like, yo, he's in there killing. Hallie, take a seat right quick, bro. He's in here killing. We need some points. Just take a seat. We'll figure this thing out later. And that's the difference because Halliburton is not a scorer, right? That's not like if you come with Kyrie, like, yo, Kyrie, take a seat. Kyrie on a Halliburton leg will still give you 20 something because that's what the man does. Halliburton, he didn't have no field goals. He only, like, I think he was 0 for 4. He got like 4 points on the free throw line or something. Like, he's not known to score. So in that instance, you got to sit that man down, bro. Sit him down. And Halliburton got to take that upon himself. Like, yo, I know it's the finals. You may not get there again. But, yo, go get treatment. At least you guaranteed another game, maybe two, if you
Yeah.
win the next game. So it's not like
Yeah.
this was a do or die game 7. I'm on a Willis Reed type joint coming out or to play the game limp. Nah, bro, you got potential 2 more games left. Carlisle should have said, yo, wrap it up, go get some treatment. If you feel good enough, maybe, but this guy here, he's holding it down right now. Let's figure it out with this, right? And you take that as a coach. You take the flat because you're making the best decision for the team. I think he felt like he was making the best decision for the team by putting Halliburton in, but he wasn't doing shit the whole game. Even before the injury, he wasn't doing nothing. So you got, what's his name? McConnell, I can't forget his name.
McConnell.
McConnell in there putting up buckets, which they needed, much needed buckets. Yeah, bro. Leave that boy in there and let them guys work, man. I think that was a bad decision. And if they lose this series, that game, that pivotal moment, they're going to talk about that for a long time. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I see both sides of the coin. So that's why I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I won't argue for that because it's like, yeah, in the moment, but then also understanding why he went. So I understand both sides. So,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have, uh, you know, any other 2 cents from that because I
Mm-hmm.
understand it from both sides and both sides is valid. It's like you ride with your horses who got you here, but at the same time, this person is doing this right in the moment. You don't stop that. So, yeah, I get it, man. But I still think Indy done in 6. So that's
Yeah, I
my two
mean,
cents.
yeah, they definitely out of here, man. Because if you
Yeah.
look at it, Halliburton, they said he got to get an MRI on his calf to see if it's all right. But the guy didn't give you no points in the last. I mean, he gave you no field goals, man, in the last game, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, what do you
Yeah.
expect from him to do in this game? And he's not a scorer, right? He's not a
Yeah.
scorer, so I think he just need to. It's not like if you have him in there he's going to save your season and put up 50 or 40. That's not his game, right? So I would bench him and let McCollum start. What was his name again?
McConnell.
McConnell. I would let McConnell start next game and have Hollyburn off the bench and take him off the bench, see how he play, see what kind of production he gonna give you. And that's what I would do if I was a coach. But we're gonna see what Carlisle do. Carlisle, won a championship in 2011, so he knows what it takes to win and how to coach. So we see. But hey, so I saw this thing they was talking about today. Your Knicks, man. So your Knicks had a chance to get KD, and the Knicks said no to Kevin Durant. How you feel about that, bro?
I didn't even. When was this? Like during the season or like now?
This was this year. This was this year when they was talking about Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant showed interest in going to the Knicks. I don't know if it was. I can't recall if it was during this process now or was it before, because they referenced a statement that Kevin Durant said when he was like talking about the Knicks before he went to Brooklyn, and he's like, "Nah, Knicks is corny" or something. Whatever statement he made. So they was referencing that, and that was about 4 years ago when he was on the Brooklyn Nets. But so I think it was in now when Kevin Durant gave a list of teams, and the Knicks came out and said, "No, we don't want Kevin Durant." How do you feel about that? You a Knicks fan? How do you feel about the Knicks saying no to Kevin Durant?
Honestly, them firing Tibbs with no plan, I don't know what's up with them. They just all over the damn place. Like, I don't think nobody know what's up with them, man. To be real,
Yo,
like I don't know what they doing over there, man.
That's nasty work, bro. They let go of Tibbs, right? Usually when teams let go of coaches, they have talked to somebody, they got somebody lined up.
Yeah.
I think they let the media just put people out there, and they was looking at who the media put out there. They was like, "Oh, Jason Kidd should be." Let's call Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd he got this superb team over there. Why would you leave?
Y'all going to coaches who are in good situations, then and say, "Hey, like yo, Austin Rivers put it the best." That's like going up to a dude in a spot. You see a happy couple. He's with his girl, chilling. You see they happy, and you just come up and get in between them and say, "Hey, man, you mind if I talk to your girl?" Like and stuff, and it's like, yeah, like what the fuck is wrong with them?
Is wrong with you?
Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, when he said that analogy, I was like, that's perfect. Like, that's basically what they doing. Like,
Right.
yeah, let me talk to your girl. It's like, what? Like, are you serious? Like, and then they try to hire people on like, why you trying to reach out to the Hawks coach?
Yo.
Like, I don't know what they
Yo.
doing over there.
Who they reached out to? They reached out to somebody. What was his name? He wasn't even an NBA. Was he an NBA? I forget his name. Who they reached out, but they was like they just knew that Knicks had no plan by reaching out to what are
Yeah,
you doing? You fired teams with no plan. Like your best
it's
bet was to
crazy.
keep this, man. That was your best
Yeah,
bet,
at
and
this point,
then
because you had no plan.
no plan whatsoever. You just fired the man. Just and for what? For what? Like when you had Jalen Brunson, your best player was advocating for him to stay and like, yo, that is my coach. So I don't know what Dolan was thinking when he made that firing. Like, who you going to hire? The only feasible hire at this point is Mark Jackson, but Mark Jackson got a lot of stuff outside of
Yeah,
NBA stuff with him. So it's like, do you want to bring him in? But we know what he did at Golden State, that he's a great coach. But who are you going to hire as a coach? Like, and then you turning down KD. Like, what are you, Knicks? What are you doing? And I talked about like, yo, the Knicks can't go backwards this year. You made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, a 50-win team. These guys are regressing horribly in front of the media's eyes. It is looking ugly for the Knicks.
I have no words for them, man. Like, what are you
That's why I
doing?
can't be no Knicks fan, bro. This is this
They
shit.
they they bugging, man. I don't know what's up with them, man. It's a bunch of nonsense going on over there, man. Like every day is something new, and you just look at them, you be like, I guess this will be the ceiling for the Knicks
This
this
will be the
year.
ceiling for
The
the Knicks,
season was the
man.
ceilings. That's
This
it, because yeah,
this
shit
should be the
is
ceiling for the Knicks, man. Hey,
shit don't
before
make no
you go,
sense.
man,
Yeah,
we got the draft coming up on June 25th.
yeah,
Cooper Flag is expected to be the number one pick in the draft, in the NBA draft. You know,
yeah.
other than Cooper Flag, who like what player do you feel what player do you feel, in your opinion, not the number one pick, obviously, could
Mm.
go 2, 3, 4, 5. What player do you feel is a dark horse player in this year's draft?
I'm gonna be real. I haven't even really been tapped in with the like. I ain't gonna lie to you. I haven't been tapped in. I wasn't excited. You know what I mean about these
Uh-huh.
guys. I mean, I don't know. I'm just sitting back to see what happens, because honestly I haven't really been tapped in
Mm-hmm.
with the youth, man, with the
Mm-hmm.
youth to really know what's going on and who's who in the draft. To be honest,
Right. I'm
outside of Cooper
looking,
Flag.
obviously Cooper Flag, and that's it's crazy you said that, right? Because when we look at college basketball, normally the players that are advertised on Sports Center and we see their highlights and they talked about a lot, those are players that in college we tend to look at. Like to your point, I'm looking at there's, Cooper Flag, obviously, Dylan Harper from Rutgers. They say he's a highly regarded prospect. I've never heard of
Mm,
Dylan Harper. Ace Bailey from Rutgers. So there's two from Rutgers. I never heard
yeah.
of them.
Mm,
VJ Edgecombe, Baylor. Never heard of him. They got international players, Hugo Gonzalez from Real Madrid, and Nolan Traore, St. Quentin. Never heard of him. Right. So it's like, when I just think that when you look at, because of the NIL and Ace Bailey, Ace Bailey, we said at Rutgers. When you look at the NIL,
yeah.
and how they getting money now, and then they could
Yeah.
go to other leagues outside. They could go to the NBA Developmental League, get paid. So it's like, yo, these guys' aspirations aren't the same as they were before when these guys was in college, knowing they're not getting paid, knowing they got to put on their best to get to the NBA. So it's like, man, I just think that that's a little bit of a hindrance in these guys in college and having that passion and fire to want to ball in college to show everybody, yo, I'm NBA ready. Because
Yeah.
who are these? I don't really know these guys. Like you said, I don't know these guys. And I watch basketball. We watch basketball. We play. So it's like, if they're not in the spotlight, who are they? You
Yeah.
know, VJ can be a DeRozan type player. So I gotta watch him. I gotta watch their games. I usually watch him like in draft. When draft time comes up, I usually watch a couple of players. Like I told people about Porzingis when the draft night came. I was like, yo, Nick's got one right here. I was looking at his tapes and stuff. I'm like, yo, a lot of Porzingis, but I'm gonna look at it when draft night comes. I'm gonna look at VJ. I'm gonna look at Ace Bailey. I'm gonna look at these guys and see what's up. But right now it's looking like Cooper Flag because I've seen him play, and then he went to the
Yeah.
USA and he dogged, the Olympic team out there with Braun and all of them, killed them. So, Cooper Flag got all the hype around him. So it's interesting. June 25th is the NBA draft. Dallas Mavericks got the first pick. We're gonna see where they go. But man, this man's your boy Seal McLean.
It's your boy Melly Mel, man. Episode 14 of books.
In the books, 2 cents and change the podcast. You know what it is, man. Make sure y'all follow us on TikTok. Make sure y'all follow us on YouTube. We're gonna get a Facebook page and all that. But right now, TikTok and YouTube, just check us out on there. Make sure you subscribe to the channels. Make sure you follow us on YouTube and engage with us on Instagram. We love that platform as well. And until next week, episode 14, we out.
Boom.
Bang.